8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. 125 kilos of the drug ice, along with 12 suspects, have been arrested. The process of providing 5,000 rupees relief payment to low-income families will continue tomorrow as well. Army Commander General Shavendra Silva made an observation tour of Jaffna recently. The Ratmalana Airport will be promoted as a leisure flying centre under the government's programme to develop the airport as a domestic aviation hub. 182 new cases of COVID-19 reported today. Another 144 more recover from the coronavirus. Advisory for severe lightning in several provinces. News from overseas. Unrest as US police shoot black man near Minneapolis. And in sports news, the second T20 match between Pakistan and South Africa is being played at the Wanderers ground in South Africa. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says 125 kilos of the drug ice, along with 12 suspects, have been arrested. These raids were conducted successfully during the last few days. Meanwhile, 110 kilos of ice has been recovered in the Sapugaskanda area. 5 suspects were also arrested today. These raids were carried out based on the information obtained from 2 suspects arrested from the Vanavasala and Mahabola areas. 2 women, also included in the group, were arrested in connection with drug trafficking. The process of providing 5,000 rupees relief payment to low-income families will continue tomorrow as well. Meanwhile, steps have been taken to provide a cash allowance of 5,000 rupees to Samurdhi recipients. The government will provide nearly 3 million low-income families with a cash allowance of 5,000 rupees in view of the upcoming Sinhala and Hindu New Year festival season beginning today. The Finance Ministry announced that this one-time payment will be made to families belonging to 7 categories, including Samurdhi beneficiary families, low-income families, families receiving senior citizens' allowances, differently abled persons, kidney patients, elders, and the aged. Over 100 of these became qualified under the above 6 categories after submitting appeals. According to the circular issued by the Prime Minister's office in this regard, a family will be provided with the allowance under 1 category only. The decision has been taken in view of the upcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year. An estimated number of 2.8 million families are expected to benefit from this allowance. Samurdhi officers have been instructed to take necessary measures to hand over the cash allowance to the relevant families prior to the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. The aforementioned allowance for low-income families is expected to be handed over on the 12th and 13th of April through the Samurdhi banks. Army Commander General Shavendra Silva made an observation tour of the Jaffna Peninsula today. The objective of this visit was to find out the security situation and the corona control activities in the area. The Army Commander also inquired about the well-being of the troops stationed in the north. General Shavendra Silva also extended the New Year wishes of the President and the Prime Minister to the troops in the Jaffna Peninsula. The Army Commander presented a newly built house to a family affected by the LTTE. The Army Commander praised the efforts of the gallant soldiers for carrying out humanitarian work, which include construction of houses. He insisted the good work of these gallant soldiers should be spread among the international community. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Digital accounts can now be opened in 10 minutes. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
We continue with local news. Minister Douglas Devananda commended the efforts and assistance provided by the French government to promote the fishing industry in Sri Lanka. The French government is expected to provide more support to Sri Lanka in the near future. The minister extended his appreciation when he met the French ambassador recently. The discussion focused on the areas of the fishing industry when the French government can provide support and assistance. The Met Department has issued an advisory for severe lightning in several provinces and districts today. Thundershowers accompanied by severe lightning is likely to occur at several places in the central, Sabaragamuwa, western, northwestern and northwestern provinces and in the Galle and Mathura and Anuradhapura districts. Heavy showers can be expected at some places in these areas, the department said, issuing a red warning. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by lightning. Next, the main news story.
Debit card, mobile and internet banking along with cardless cash facilities can now be open in just 10 minutes with no form filling with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Tourism Minister Prasanna Rantunga said that the Ratmalana Airport will be promoted as a leisure flying centre under the government's programme to develop the airport as a domestic aviation hub. Accordingly, new local air routes to tourist destinations and new runways suitable for aircraft will be identified. It is also expected to ease the barriers to flying to such identified locations. In addition, the Ratmalana International Airport is expected to be promoted in a number of new areas, the minister added. That was the main news story. Watchlight is next.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight. The Sri Lanka police say 580 people have been killed in road accidents in various parts of the country since January this year. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that 5 persons were killed in road accidents in various parts of the country on Saturday alone. He added that the highest number of road accidents occurs in April and most accidents happen between the 10th and the 20th of April. Therefore, DIG Rohana requested motorists to drive in accordance with the traffic rules and not to drive while intoxicated. He also urged pedestrians to pay attention when walking on the roads. That was Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Urdu season, People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011-206-300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. Unrest as police shoot black man near Minneapolis. Indian panel gives emergency approval for Russia's Sputnik V vaccine. Scientists attribute stranded dolphin fish in Ghana to low oxygen concentration. Tear gas has been fired as a curfew imposed amid angry protests after police fatally shot a black man in a traffic stop in the U.S. city of Brooklyn Center, just north of Minneapolis. The man has been identified by relatives as 20-year-old Daunte Wright. Brooklyn Center's mayor issued a curfew that lasted until 6 a.m., telling people to be safe and go home. Tensions in Minneapolis are high as the trial of a former officer accused of killing George Floyd takes place. A courtroom just 16 kilometers from the latest unrest will resume proceedings on Monday, with the prosecution expected to begin wrapping up the case. An expert panel of India's drug regulator has recommended emergency use approval of Russia's Sputnik V coronavirus vaccine, two sources said today, which could make it the nation's third to be approved as infections surge again. India overtook Brazil to become the nation with the second highest number of infections worldwide after the United States, as it battles a massive second wave, having given about 105 million doses among a population of 1.4 billion. The incidents of dead fish and live dolphins that were washed ashore at different places along the coast of Ghana were due to low oxygen concentration in the ocean, marine scientists said in a preliminary report. Researchers at the Department of Marine and Fisheries Science at the University of Ghana, Legon, said in a release that the chemical oxygen demand, which was significantly higher than expected, probably due to low oxygen concentration of the ocean bed, leading to the incidents. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Unrest as police shoot black man near Minneapolis. Indian panel gives emergency approval for Russia's Sputnik V vaccine. Scientists attribute stranded dolphin and fish in Ghana to low oxygen concentration. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is up next.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
The best discount in this out of the season. People's Leasing Polybossy. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this out of the season. Call 011-206-300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
A look at development news. A project to provide electricity through solar power to the rural area has commenced. Another 7,000 similar solar power stations will be established in the near future. This will add 700 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. The Ministry of Power and Energy says 700 solar power projects have been implemented so far. If this project becomes a successful venture, then a large amount of foreign exchange spent on diesel and coal can be saved, the minister added. That was development. Next, we take a look at sports news. The second T20 match between Pakistan and South Africa is being played at the Wanderers ground in South Africa. Pakistan batted first and made 140 for 9 in 20 overs. In reply, South Africa were 88 for 2 in 9 overs a short while ago. Next, we have business news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Pan Asia Bank was recently bestowed with the prestigious Best Bank for Treasury Activities Sri Lanka 2021 Treasury Award by the Global Banking and Finance Award 2021. This accolade is a source of pride for the Pan Asia Bank as it has won this award for the first time in its history. The win also marks a moment of pride for Sri Lanka's entire banking industry, as the Pan Asia Bank is the first local bank to be recognized and rewarded for its superior treasury management skills, and was part of the treasury and cash management banking category of the highly reputed Global Banking and Finance Awards. That was business news. Economic news is up next.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News, courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The government has signed a loan agreement of $500 million with the China Development Bank. The Ministry of Finance stated that the relevant funds will be disbursed within this week. Ambassador Dr. Palitha Kohonna, on behalf of the government of Sri Lanka, signed the loan agreement with the China Development Bank at the Sri Lanka Embassy in Beijing today. The embassy said this loan will infuse vitally required foreign exchange into the Sri Lankan economy. These funds will help with the government's efforts to facilitate rapid economic growth following the setbacks caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. That was economic news. Finally, the weather report.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Department of Meteorology has issued an advisory for severe lightning in several provinces and districts today. Thunder showers accompanied by severe lightning are likely to occur at several places in the central, Sabaragamuwa, western, northwestern and northern provinces and the Galle, Mathura and Anuradhapura districts. Heavy showers can be expected at some places in these areas, the department said, issuing a red warning. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Well, that was the weather report. And to end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The headlines again to end tonight's news broadcast. 125 kilos of the drug ice, along with 12 suspects, have been arrested. The process of providing 5,000 rupee relief payments to low-income families will continue tomorrow as well. Army Commander General Shavendra Silva made an observation tour of Jaffna today. The Ratmalana Airport will be promoted as a leisure flying centre under the government's programme to develop the airport as a domestic aviation hub. Advisory for severe lightning in several provinces. News from overseas. Unrest as US police shoot black man near Minneapolis. And in sports news, the second T20 match between Pakistan and South Africa is being played at the Wanderers ground in South Africa. That ends tonight's news broadcast, and over to our mutual friend who is all set and ready to take over for the final program tonight. And it's Family Choice. Niranjan, all yours.